everyone. Welcome to Soul Wanderings. Tonight is Wednesday night, Soul Wanderings night, and we are hanging out live on Facebook and on YouTube. And I'm AJ.
And I'm Natalie.
Welcome to our show. So, if you are new to our show, just a really quick introduction. Natalie and I are the hosts of Soul Wanderings, and you can learn more about us by visiting soulwanderings.com. And also, we hang out at a beautiful healing space during the day where we spend time assisting people in their human experience through grief, through trauma, through spirituality, through just life. Life is a little challenging and has its ways, and so we just help people navigate their way through those experiences. We're very, very fortunate to do so. I need to clear some stuff off my desk. Oh my gosh, I feel smothered. I've been at my desk all day. I'm like, oh, too much stuff. So yeah, welcome to our show. Hello, everyone in the chat rooms. Thank you for being here first and supporting the show and yourselves. So good. Tonight we have a topic of Dharma. And yeah. So, interesting. So, I don't really follow any type of religion or organized religion or belief systems. I consider myself to be omnist, where I believe there's truth in all things. And I support anything that's um, based in the foundation of a higher frequency. So, love and light and Christ consciousness and God and all of that good stuff. So, nothing into a deep dive specifically. So this topic was, on my radar for a while. It's one of the topics that I'm like, let's talk about that because we learn so much about our topics when we choose the topic. All of a sudden, we're getting schooled. Even if we're aware of it, there's just this beautiful way that experiences come into our awareness that teach us on a deeper level. And so this is one of those times for sure. So now, where before I knew of Dharma without having a deeper understanding, now I have an understanding. I wouldn't call it deep, but I know you deep dived into the topic. So I know we'll have plenty to discuss, and
We
I'm
will.
really excited about it.
Yeah.
So, how are you?
Oh, yeah, I did some physical labor today, so I'm good. But I was
Yeah.
tuning with the trees, so getting in tune with nature, which is really good when we're
Mhm.
studying Dharma.
Yeah. Really, I'm interested to hear why. Like, I want to know all the things, like your outtakes, like what you received through your investigating. So,
Yeah.
nature, huh? Hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the way of things in so many ways. Everything has Dharma.
Yes, I've learned that. I actually learned that Dharma is in all things, all changes, and how the world works, and cause and condition. Like it's everything.
Yeah,
I
I thought
had
it might.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I actually thought it might be fun for you to start
Okay.
with your investigation, what you discovered, and then I'm gonna fill in
Okay.
and expand. Does that work for you?
I mean, sure. So here we are. You know me. I'm just a simple human being with with a lot of desire to learn and lean in deeper ways. So this will be good for me. I will be getting schooled. But okay, so from my understanding, there's actually more than one type of dharma also I learned about. But first of all, dharma, what I have come to understand is it's like your purpose. It's a path. the path that we take, and that everything, like you said, has its dharma. It's not just what you do, but who you are when you are in harmony with like life's deeper truths. And when you follow your dharma, life flows effortlessly. And I heard a little quote that said, when you follow your dharma, life flows effortlessly like a river returning to the ocean.
Mm.
And I just thought, wow, that sounds so simple, right? But then you think of all the little things along the way. Where's your bag here? So yeah, I just thought it was, it's broad. That would be broad for me. However, because that wasn't enough, I wanted to learn more. And I learned that obviously dharma is a Sanskrit word, but it means natural law, the way the world works. And how all things can change and how they arise based on a cause and condition, like I said. But also, what I learned was there is what are called the four main pursuits of the human life in Hinduism. Are you familiar with that? Or have you heard of that?
It's probably blended in the different things.
Yeah. So what I
Or like the
came to,
Four Noble Truths of Buddhism or something like that, but I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Tell
So
me
what I
more.
came to understand are the four main pursuits of the human life in Hinduism. And so there's four. There's dharma, which is occupation, and then there's artha, which is wealth. There's kama, which is lust through senses, and mo okay, hold on. Moksha, which is liberation. And I may have totally obliviated those pronunciations, but they're all in relation to the body and mind in its birth. But they don't actually address what is our eternal dharma. As the root cause of entanglement and suffering in the world is the wrong application of our dharma in this world. So that's what I learned from that. So there's this distinction between what is called, hold on, the word's going to come to me, Nimitika Dharma and Nitya Dharma. Have you heard of those? Two different
So
types of Dharma.
a little
There's not
bit.
just one. So
Right.
the Nimitika Dharma is like our purpose and our occupation in this particular lifetime. And the Nitya Dharma is our soul's eternal purpose. And that's what we carry with us in all lifetimes, in every lifetime that we've lived. And that's based off of Bhakti yoga, the yoga of devotion. And it's not just following whatever direction our senses are pulling us in, trying to taste like all of this good yumminess of the world. But we all have our purpose in this lifetime, but it's not to be confused by what is our eternal purpose, what's like the nature of our soul. And the nature of our soul is to engage in, it was called Seva, SEVA, which is like service to all that is, like the supreme being, the supreme whole, the all that is. However you want to look at that. So it's more about not just looking at this lifetime, but like all lifetimes and the entire picture of the lifetimes is what I came to understand through all of this. And see, that's so broad to me. It's not specific enough. And I think that you can offer the specifics because I was just like, okay, let's talk about Dharma. I don't know much about Dharma. Let's talk about that. I feel kind of ignorant, actually. Like, I just don't have an awareness or an understanding of Buddhism or Hinduism. Now, there's aspects of it that I know, right? And
Right.
that I embody because, like I said, I believe there's truth in all things. And so I see things and I'm like, yes, that resonates. No, I'm not going to take that. So this is one of those things where I'm like, interesting. I like the concept. I don't know enough about it to implement it as of yet. And also, the thing that you said to me the other day when I was like, Dharma, yeah, this will be interesting. And you said, you know exactly what it is. You just use different words for it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I want to hear your interpretation because I may have a light bulb go off on the top of my head being like, yes, that resonates. That I can get behind and understand because your wording is different.
Yes, because I'm going to go very pragmatic. So
Of
that
course
was
you are.
beautiful to frame that way from the different studies. And I love your investigator self. And I'm going to bring in human design with
Of course
Dharma.
you are. Why would you not?
Right. And I think it's lovely because it helps us actually find our Dharma because it tells us
It tells us you're not wrong.
exactly
I
what
love
our
the human
role
design.
is.
I'm like, oh, yes. Okay,
So
let's
good.
do this.
So first I want to say we are as humans kind of removed from natural order and law. We're removed. So often we live like on the planet, but not in the environment. So we're not really connected with our modern life to the natural order of things. But that is Dharma, is connection to what is. And I did watch one video that talked about in the Hindu culture and in the caste system that they've had in India for ages, they have roles in society, and your dharma is to live out the role that you have in society and be in harmony with that role and not fight it and not like try to like if you're walking upstream against your role, then you're not actually finding that peace and aligning yourself with your dharma.
Mm, I did read that.
So there's those things. So harmony with universal law and the natural order of things and the truth. So you had mentioned the truth. There's truth in all things. So you're finding the truth within things through the experience, not through the intellectual processing of things.
Okay, so is that your truth? Or how do we know what the truth is?
So in Buddhism, that Dharma is a big aspect for. So the other thing I felt that Dharma and the Tao have probably are the same. Not to say it's exactly the same, but from my perspective, Dharma and the Tao have a very similar place in the framework of study. So in Buddhism, you come to know your truth by connecting inside and the meditation, which helps you align your experiences to truth.
Mm.
So through the meditation, you an individual through this reminded me, it took me back to my Vipassana meditation because I listened to S.N. Goenka, who was the teacher that we listened to in that. And it's, say, for example, there is this concept of peace, and we want peace in the world. Most people want peace on earth. But if you cannot hold peace inside of yourself, then you can't find peace because it's not a truth for you. So through the meditation and to achieve and align yourself with your Dharma, you have to go through the experiences and you have to understand through the experience. And true knowing comes through the experience of things, like experiencing what is true for you. Let's say that you have an idea that says, this is my truth. But the internal, so we'll just use peace again. But your internal is conflicted. Well, through meditation and releasing yourself from the mind and starting to separate yourself And it has to do with all these different types of things, the ego and transcending the ego and aligning yourself with your higher self and finding enlightenment by releasing and releasing yourself from attachments. And Dharma is, I don't know, they never say it's a goal. They say it's a result.
It's just, is it well, I can see it being a result, but also, like, is it an active practice in a way, like being conscious about the way you're purposefully living your life?
So I'm going to answer that through human design language.
Okay.
So in human design, each one of us are born on an incarnation cross. And the cross is a major keynote to your life. And that is your Dharma in a way. And it's not a guarantee that you'll get it or anyone will get their Dharma. But if you align yourself with your form, as far as human design goes, live within the framework of the aura that you live in, that's according to type, and following and making decisions according to your inner authority, then it is more likely that you will live out the role that you're here to embody when you're in the body, which would be your Dharma, which would give you satisfaction or peace or success according to your form.
Right. I love that mine is peace.
Yes.
For a few reasons. So how does karma play into Dharma?
So karma is action. So I take, just being truthful with this, I understand the concept like more intuitively than perhaps describing in a great detail like a great teacher would. But even the teachers, if you're listening to things, they're saying, hey, there's this intellectual understanding of all this stuff. And then you've got to go and you've got to live it out, because you really won't know unless you live and can come to compassion and contentment. So what was your question? Oh, karma. So karma is the actions that we take in this life. So karma is what we get through our actions. This is not the easiest thing to articulate.
Right. You know how awesome I am with articulation. And I really was struggling with having just that. Like, I get it's your purpose. Easy, right? But it's not just that. And so articulating the depth of the true meaning of the word is quite something.
So one when I was, the video that I watched that was talking about the Hindu culture and living out your life, they talked about the Dharma when you're young and you're a student, and your Dharma is to study and to lay the foundation of your life. And then when you get married and have a family, then you're a householder, and then your Dharma is to raise your children and be productive. And if you have a job, then your Dharma is to do that job and to actually not be all grumbly about it and not be miserable. If you're miserable and have angst about the world and you're in conflict with the world, you're not aligned with your Dharma. So sometimes it's easy to explain what it's not.
Right. And to me, like the whole quote about life flows effortlessly like a river into the ocean.
Yes.
Like, because I'm a visual, like that makes so much sense to me.
Right.
Like I felt that response.
Right. So when we think about connection to what is, and connection to what is, as far as harmony with universal law and natural order, how many times are we disharmonious in the world? I have for this is a year where the box elder bugs are prolific. Now, if you go about hating the box elder bugs, you are not aligned with the natural order.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
Where?
But obviously that's in the order this year.
Every year. It's a thing around here. They're everywhere.
It is. The little beetles that get, so that there's all kinds of things like that. So when we just think about it in a practical term, are you okay with what is?
Yeah.
Are you connected to the flow of life? And does it flow effortlessly? Most of us are not.
Right. Right. I feel like that is part of my life purpose, is like really committing to be in that space without having the understanding it was Dharma. Because the last 3 years where I've really leaned into living my human design and understanding my signature is peace, I feel like that's in alignment with the flow, right? And so so many people get frustrated with me, which is so funny because I'm like, it is what it is. And they're like, but how can it be what it is? And I'm like, it just is. Feel like a Seinfeld episode. But honestly, like that's it. It brings me so much. Maybe it's being oblivious to some, but to me, it's like letting the things go that don't need to be a priority in my life. Like there are so many things we don't need to worry about or stress about or carry, that we always are like, oh, that looks bright and shiny. Oh, I think I'm going to put that in my backpack and figure that out, when it's like so unnecessary.
Right.
And when I learned that I don't have to figure things out, and sometimes things aren't meant to be figured out, and sometimes they're not mine to figure out.
Right.
Just letting it be, just letting it, like when I say it is what it is, like on the regular, I'm just like, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to put energy into that.
Right. And so
that's how it feels when you're talking to me about this.
It's beautiful. That's what I feel. I have a couple of quotes that I'll bring up, and then we'll see if this will help expand on the topic. Whoever walks on such a path becomes truly happy and will certainly become liberated. If there's no peace in the mind of the individual, how can there be real peace in the world? And know thyself. These are aspects that people go through. Now, this is, you can't just intellectually study Dharma and get it. Just like the person that will, however they say about the Tao, the man who explains the Tao, if you talk about the Tao, that's not the Tao. And I feel the same thing with Dharma. Dharma is discovered by being in alignment with the natural order and harmony in the world.
Yeah.
So if you have disharmony, then you don't have Dharma. So then how do you get it? Well, there's these big concepts. Can you accept what is? And you're saying, well, it is what it is. And people, they're like, how can you accept what is? And you're like, because it is what it is.
Change it. It just is what it is. Right. We're not supposed to control the outcome.
No. Or even the situation or whatever's happening, or the news cycle, or the bigger picture of things. And this really, how do you find these word harmony, natural order, and are you trying to change the flow of the river? Check in with yourself. These are all aspects that move you away from the Dharma and really living out the role. So many people don't, either aren't really aligned with their life. So they're living in someone. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. We're all open to conditioning. We as a human species are so programmable that we're actually, so many people are not even living their own life. They live in someone else's. How many people admire like a sports star or a movie star or someone that's famous or someone that they know, and they're like, I want
Not
to be
even
like
admire, idolize.
that. Yes.
Like, yeah.
And then you're removed from your own life. And then where's the self-love? I mean, the love of yourself, or the enjoyment in your life, or the connection with what is in the bigger picture of things. All of these are aspects of finding Dharma, or being liberated, which is connection to the Dharma.
Right.
And I so in little ways I could comprehend it. I was like I brought up with the bugs. People are like, I don't like them, they should be eliminated. Well, they have their role. You have your role.
What role do mosquitoes play? Like, honestly.
Well, they have a Dharma.
But what is it?
Well,
I want to know what the purpose is.
See how hard it's not so easy.
No, it's not so easy.
I'm sure you could probably find out if you asked. You might not like the answer.
Yeah, no, see, and
Let's
that's
see.
probably why I'll never ask.
Yeah.
So Charles brings up a good point. Dharma, does it equal soul contract?
I think those could be aspects of that.
Yeah.
When I think about, if you have a soul contract and you're born, then you have a purpose, which is going to be aligned with soul contract. So I don't know if it's actually absolutely equal, but it'll be part of that. So I have this: Dharma is universal and eternal. For instance, the Dharma of fire is to burn and to cause to burn. The Dharma of ice is to be cold and to cause to cool.
See, I like simple explanation. And so my Dharma would be to hold space. It's my purpose.
Isn't that what they took? Isn't that what you learned?
Well, I was told, yes, but when we change the wording to Dharma, Dharma is purpose, right?
Yes.
So you're just learning about your purpose, or it's another word to explain your purpose, right? So that's the whole point. Yeah. So the law of Dharma, I have a little quote here: seek your highest self, discover your unique talents, ask yourself how you are best suited to serve humanity. Using your unique talents and serving others brings unlimited bliss and abundance. That's what Deepak Chopra said. I had that saved in my thought on my Pinterest board, and I was like, "Oh, cool! We're talking about that this week." Have you ever heard of the Dharma wheel?
No, like the wheel, like the
wheel of Dharma. So I guess there's this wheel of the Dharma. And I didn't study enough to try to explain it to her, but I do have an explanation. The wheel of Dharma represents the eightfold path of Buddhism: the right view, the right intention, the right speech, the right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, guiding ethical life and wisdom towards enlightenment. There's 8 spokes on the wheel.
So yes, I have heard of that.
Okay, yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
So if we talk about that, the right, the of those aspects, um, through living in harmony, you don't have room for the negative thinking, negative thoughts. I have a quote that I wrote. Let's see. Yeah.
They're loud outside tonight.
They are. Growth in concentration, working efficiency, positive behavior changes, effective decision making, gentle speech, and harmonious feelings towards each other. So these are things that are the things that you were talking about: right action, right speech. Are you willing to own and be responsible for your internal angst or incorrectness? Are you willing to pull back and work towards compassion instead of hatred? Or, watch what you say, listen to what you say. Is what you're articulating, what you're saying, in harmony or disharmony? So this topic, what we're talking about, this is a pursuit in a way, but it's not really meant to be a pursuit. What it's meant to do is like, I don't have room for negative thinking. I'm just going to be truthful within my own skin that I have negative thinking. And if I'm truthful about that, then it comes to this place of acceptance that it says, I can accept that I'm disharmonious right now. And through that acceptance, it can shift.
Yeah. Wow. It's much more in depth and more powerful than I had originally assumed, right? Because words have definitions, and most of the time they're pretty simple definitions. But I feel like this one has layers to it. Yeah, I was going to share a little image here that I thought was cool. Look at this, Dharma. The big reason why you're here. Service, your frequency, grounding, your excitement, clarity, your creations, embodiment, your mediums, your path, your learnings, your ancestry, your breakthrough, your message, your obstacles, your soul's purpose, and your joy. So when you look at all of those definitions, all encompassing, that's where I'm like saying there's just layers and depth to this one particular word. There's so much to it.
They say there's not actually English doesn't have language for Dharma. We have to have all of those words to describe the word Dharma.
Not crazy. I'm interested in hearing from you listeners what your take is on Dharma. Do you have any feedback or any comment regarding Dharma or how it plays a role in your life, or if this is a new idea or concept to you altogether? You can go ahead and type something in our chat room over on YouTube or over on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're listening to a replay, there's a comment section. Yeah, so interesting. Interesting. I don't know what else to say. I'm fascinated by how every area in the world or religion or belief system has like their own unique language, right? And I feel like most of us are trying to say the same thing. We just have different vocabulary.
Yeah, in a way. I don't know if all religions are as aligning to the natural laws others, but the part of what I was listening to said Dharma is actually transcends any religion. It's bigger than that.
So we should test it. Dr. Corey.
Yes, probably. So I do have another quote here. It says a meditator should become so truthful that every step should be on the truth of personal experience. All mental layers of falsehood should be broken. So, how would we go about like understanding truth through our meditation?
So when you ask that question, the first thing that comes to me is like leaning into your intuition. That's how I trust myself and my truth, is trusting myself. So listening to what my body tells me.
Yeah, that is because through meditation, through the experience of what your body says, this is you can't really get to this without like surrendering to the whole experience. Every moment of your experience is part of this path. Every step should be on the truth of personal experience.
Mm.
You know how many people walk around saying, we've talked about this before, but this is an aspect that says, are you the same internally and externally? Are you saying that you want peace, yet harboring hatred on the inside, pretending on the outside? So truthfulness can mean that. Do your insides and outsides match? Are they in harmony? Or are they not? Are they discongruent? They're not the same aspect. So living that whole circle, they're saying, or through meditation or the experience of Buddhism, you're working on accepting the fact that you've got this disharmony inside and you're coming to acceptance, and then you watch what you do when you release and watch what the body does, as well as making some conscious, purposeful actions, making correct actions, choosing harmony, choosing not to be vengeful or full of hate. One of the things that I heard today was, you're the first victim of your hatred.
I could not agree with that more.
Right. The first victim of your anger.
I really, really like that. Yeah, that for me, I'm going to tuck away because, through my experience of life where I've had a lot of reason to dislike people, even I would say go as far as hate them. Like I've never been someone who says I hate anybody. Like I don't say I hate them for who they are, what they did. It just have never felt good inside of my body.
Right.
And people have challenged me on that. And it's just an awareness. It's just an awareness when you say something like that. Like when we really lean into feeling how the vibrations feel inside of our body, not just to practice a belief, but to embody it and have our insides match our outsides. Like it's a conscious effort when you begin the practice, but when you opt to live that way, there it doesn't feel like it's work,
Right. Then it
right?
flows
It just
easily.
exactly. It just feels like that's just who you are. It's
Mhm.
when you go outside of that framework where it feels disharmonious.
Mhm. And it can't be truth if it feels disharmonious
Yeah.
because it's not eternal.
Oh, that just feels some sort of way. So while you were researching Dharma and listening to all the concepts, because there were like people had different interpretations for sure. I mean, piecing it together, like, oh, this person said this and this person said that. Um, I could see like some of the similarities where they could match up together, but some of them were just like so out there, and I'm like, well, what's true? Right? And I think that's with any topic that we learn about and we talk about. It's like, what does it feel like inside of your body
Right.
when someone says this definition of that word and you're like, I'm not sure about that. Or you're excited and you're like, yes, that resonates with me so much.
So I didn't listen to a whole bunch of things. I went back to in my search, of course, Vipassana came up, and
Yeah.
Vipassana is a meditation technique that's utilized to come this step by step by step movement towards your Dharma. It's a
Mm.
movement towards enlightenment, which is an understanding. So if I'll just venture in and put this out there, enlightenment is understanding universal law. Like you're lightened up when you it's like, oh, it is what it is. Like people when they want to argue against that framework or that just causes some disharmony in them, it's because they don't realize it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what is it? And it's like, well, it depends on what it is that where we are in our life, where we are actually, what's our body doing? Are you, so it's all like it is multifaceted because it's based really truly on personal experience.
Mm.
If you're here to discover, you or the listeners, what your soul purpose is, I mean, how do you connect with your soul to then feel purposeful with whatever it is that you're doing?
Mm.
These are all aspects of the living it out in this body. Our bodies have physical form, and we come here and everybody has a talent. We're born into different families, we're born into different cities, we're born into different places. We have natural talent or abilities to do certain things. Not everyone can be a basketball. Not everyone can be anything. That's not true. Like we really do fit a we have a puzzle piece that we fit into the world a particular way. And a lot of times people don't like the where they fit in the world
Yeah.
and feel the resistance and go, where would I look or go or adjust my thinking or adjust my belief structure or the framework on the inside or my actions, which are karma. I'm living out. So if I've taken a bunch of actions and I've had improper decision making, or my decision making hasn't been in alignment or harmonious, how many people I will often hear this. They will purposefully make a decision that they know will impact another person, not in a compassionate way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's karma. Like you take an action There is going to be a result based on your action. If your actions tend to be compassionate, harmonious, then you're going to be having a different experience than if you're taking actions that aren't harmonious. You know, people say, well, they behave that way, so I'm going to behave that way. And it's like, okay, two wrongs don't make it right. And so how many people become the person that they dislike because they'll behave like that?
Yeah. Good points. If you had a client come into your office and they were questioning like all of what we talked about and wanting ways to, you know, flow easier, I know you'll refer them to the human design and how they operate, right, with their own personal blueprint. But generalized, what advice would you offer them?
Well, so let's talk about it. I mean, in grief.
We all can relate to grief.
Right. And so the body gets really sad or upset or grief stricken after a loss of something significant. And people say, I need to stop grieving. Help me stop grieving. And I'm saying, no, we're actually going to lean towards the grief. We're not going to say that's disharmony. We're going to say that's harmonious to be grief stricken when you've lost something precious. The body's just doing it. Okay. Obviously, that must be a natural way of our bodies to act. Now, there's different ways, you can get stuck in grief, but in generalization, when someone that you love has died, or you have another loss of something precious, you're going to just experience a grief. You're going to have experience of grieving. And then I will say, move towards it, lean in. Just release the resistance you have to feeling that way.
Well, okay. Yeah, I love that. Just lean in, just feel it. It's hard, but just feel it. But there's grief shows up in so many different ways. It's not just the loss of like a human being,
right,
to transitioning or relationship. I feel like we even grieve the versions of ourselves that we are or were to whom we are becoming. I mean, I have a client who reached out to me today and was like, after I worked with you, I was feeling all of this grief, but also she's in this really beautiful place of transitioning to a new version of herself. So without even, describing the grief, it's just an understanding that there is loss there. There's some sort of transitioning going on there. And instead of resisting it, just like we talk about leaning in, just be in the feelings and the emotions and the thoughts and all of the things that are the grief that you're experiencing. Because the only way out is in, right?
Right. No way forward is through. Compassion, and in Buddhism, they use a lot of. I'm gonna read.
Oh, I'll hide it for a minute. You can read it when you're done with your statement.
So, having compassion in a grief journey, or having compassion in just general. Compassion is a tool that they use in Buddhism and in the study of Buddhism, and the living in Buddhism is compassion. So have compassion for yourself, for whatever it is you're going through. Have compassion for the changes that are going in life. Compassion for the neighbors or the people that you would have angst for. Step towards compassion, and you're aligning yourself differently, becoming more in harmony. more correct action
Mm,
through compassion, the
yeah.
use of compassion as a tool, and acceptance. These are different parts that are tools that you would put in your toolbox that you're going to bring out when there's disharmony, and you say, how can I accept this? And it's like, how could you not? If something is happening in your life, acceptance doesn't mean resignation that it's okay. It doesn't even mean agreement. It just
No,
means it is what it is
it's
at the
choosing
moment.
peace. Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh, yeah. See, that's what I just love peace. Amen. I love the way it feels so much, you guys. I'm like, I don't want to live any other way. If it brings me peace, why would I want anything else other than peace? And I've had people debate me on that. Well, like that's you being oblivious or you being spiritual bypassing or doing whatever they want to judge me on. And I just feel like, we all get a choice on how we live our life. And some people choose to live it in a negative loop. I'm choosing to live it in an optimistic loop. I'm not always positive, not negative, but I also feel like there's very little in reality that we have control over because what's meant to be will always find a way. And things just happen. And when you just surrender to that, just being in the flow,
Hmm.
there's the resistance is no longer there. And then things are happening for you. They're not happening to you. And it's just a very different vibration. So
Right.
to think to go outside of that, I'm just like, "Ooh, that makes me feel kinda I don't like it."
It's very true.
Yeah.
I have
Mm,
another thing
okay.
that I wrote down. One must walk the path in accordance with the law of nature. This is going to probably echo what you just said, which can be realized only through personal experience. This law or will cannot be found in any book or discourse. It is within ourselves and can only be realized through experience. Can be
Mm,
realized only through experience. So there's so much about when you just said, look, life is happening. It it's the experience that we're here for. We have a soul will just, and this is one thing that I find a lot with people that are on spiritual journey. They want to get back to spirit quicker. You're missing the point of being in a body. Missing the whole
mhm.
point. Like, we're here for experience
Right.
and the experience of it. And as you walk with the framework, if you have a belief structure that said that person's bad, this person's bad, you should be prejudging, which is prejudice. This is another aspect that came up in my study, was that we're so often prejudiced. We're prejudging something instead of being with what is. And you're
Mm,
bringing prejudice, or which is a belief structure, which is discordant with natural law. If your belief structure is discordant with natural law wins.
yeah.
It's bigger than all of us. It's a law.
It's so true. So why waste your time and energy on fighting, resisting, or, going about it any other way than just it is what it is. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Wow, what a cool topic. Yeah, I've learned something tonight. Same same concept,
Different language.
different language. You
Yeah.
called it.
I know. I
You
said, you
called it.
understand this. You understand this. You just don't realize that you understand
Yeah, some
Dharma.
topics I'm just like, "Yeah, I don't know."
So I'll ask you because um, perhaps you have discovered Dharma and are much more, because I know you are much more aligned in your life than you used to be.
Oh, yeah.
So then have you discovered this Dharma? Are you living the purpose? Are you being, this it's as if the Dharma of fire is to burn and to cause to burn.
Yeah.
And your Dharma is to hold space or to love. You do that?
So I feel like I'm learning more and more every day. And the version of me last week is not the same version of me this week. And with every experience that I have, and with every opportunity to assist another human being in their experience, I learn more about my purpose and what my Dharma is. I feel, as the weeks go by in my life, I'm more me than I've ever been. And I feel like that's the truth because I feel like, to my awareness at this point, I am living purposefully. I am living in the best, highest timeline that I possibly can at this point in time.
And can you ever imagine lying, like to not be truthful?
um, well, yeah, of course I can imagine it,
Well,
right? But
sure.
that's not the way that I want to live.
Right.
That's not the way that I feel like I'm honest to a fault. And I know that sometimes my truth hurts people. And I've had to come to the realization that has nothing to do with me. And all I can do
Mhm.
is be honest with myself and what I feel and believe. And
So
yeah,
if
I just can't imagine any other way.
no, if your truth, because this is part of this. This is part of you living your underlying truth, and someone experiences hurt by interacting or in interactions with you. The hurt is their message.
Mm-hmm.
If any of our listeners, someone listening to this, if you experience hurt, that's a sign of disharmony. It
Mm.
means you're away from what is and you're resisting. So the resistance, if you try to walk up the river, you're going to feel strains on your muscles. If you have interactions with people and you feel hurt, most often it's because you want it to be different than what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to this hurt instead of asking the world to change because it's hurtful. Then it's like relax and be more with the flow of what is. This is, I mean, people can be in all kinds of situations. So, but you and I both know that the more you get aligned, and the deeper that your experience goes with a particular alignment, and my personal journey has been line myself up with my form and function as I know it in human design, and I have a more satisfying life. I just know. I trust life. I just trust it. Oh, you're muted.
I said absolutely. Thank you. I was typing. I don't like the clicky in our sound background. I know we are out of time, but we don't have to cut really quick because we don't have a show after us anymore. So, because we have the questions and we love to answer the best way that we know how. There is a question from listener on Facebook. Do you think serial killers and common murderers have some innate knowledge of this existence that we don't understand, and it makes them okay with their actions?
we
Like,
just talked. We just talked about serial killers yesterday.
I talk about serial killers a lot, but not to idolize them. I just the psychology. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, so there's a couple of things that are coming up for me to answer. Do you have anything?
I don't know if they. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that there's some right. You said there's something just off. They have a different internal framework that
Yeah.
whether they makes them okay.
Right. But say they were just like normal, right? Say they were normal and they are making these types of decisions for themselves and for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it could be considered that that is their purpose, because I feel like everyone has a purpose, good, bad, or indifferent. Like we all have a role in this human experience. In order to have the duality in the experiences for all of us, for our greater good, there has to be the light and the dark. And so I look at like things in that regards, like, do they understand? They might not have an understanding just as much as we don't have an understanding of our light. You know, it's like coming into it. And I'm sure that a lot of humans who make these types of choices have the same, similar, I should say, inner conflicts within themselves as we would, just, you know, in different ways, because the experience is different. And I'm not a psychologist, I could not say, but not everyone has a conscious, but they have consciousness,
Yeah.
because we are all made from the same source. And so, no, I think that's like multiple responses in regards to that. I don't know if I answered the question, but that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
I like to study human beings and just like the way that they act and react, and the way they do and why they do the things that they do. I did go to college for criminal justice, mostly because of that, because, you know, the trauma in my life, and I'm like wanting to know like what makes a human being make these kinds of choices that are so detrimental for another person, even to the point of, you know, taking their life. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So he said you're touching on exactly what I'm thinking about most of the time. Well, you know, and speaking of serial killers and murders and things like that, it's being very sensationalized right now. Like if you just even hop on Netflix, I can't even tell you the amount of number one or in the top 10 right now shows that are revolving around these type of human beings that have made these choices.
Mm.
It is definitely, I think people are intrigued and fascinated, and we also have lost our filters, where the shock factor has been minimalized. Yes, yes, like that one, Joe. I'm not going to say it here on the show, but yes, exactly. That was a, a tough one to watch.
Mm.
Anyways, off topic before we go. So we have a list of topics, and I had a lot of fun having you guys vote. Did you have fun having people vote for our topics?
Yeah.
So I have a list of topics here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'm going to throw a couple out, and then whoever's in the chat room here live with us on YouTube or on Facebook, you guys shoot out what you feel we should, or we ought to talk about next week. Oh, we talked about that one. I need to put a little check mark. Oh, did we? Wait, I don't know if we did. I'm going to uncheck that. Okay, so and I haven't gone over with Natalie what ones we should. So I'm just
Okay,
going
pick
to
a couple.
hurry and go. Have we talked about shadow work?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That was one that we talked about.
Let's talk about, let's throw shadow work out there. And simulation theory. Two very different but similar topics. Okay, listeners. So what do you guys feel go ahead and type it up in the chat. You want to talk about shadow work, or do you want to talk about simulation theory? And if you don't get a chance to do in the live chat, just leave a comment. Or as always, you guys, if you have a topic request or want us to dive in with you, you can email us that request at connect@soulwanderings.com. Or if you have anything else you want to share, we do reply to those messages and we love to hear from our listeners. Thank you so much. If you have not already liked our live or subscribed to our YouTube channel or liked our Facebook page, please do so. You can connect to our social media links by going to soulwanderings.com. Do you have anything else before we end tonight, Natalie?
Nope. This was a fun topic. Dharma. It was nice bumping back into my experience with Vipassana and these teachings. It's more than just Vipassana with these teachings.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
lovely.
I bet. I mean, you had a really profound experience for sure.
Yes. And then connecting it with human design. I still say, follow your design, live within your form, and you will find your Dharma. You'll find your purpose. Life will be different.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You taught me a lot tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, look, we're getting a lot of feedback. Hey, you guys, we'll take it all into consideration. There's not one vote over the other at this point, just some options. Oh, wait, looks like shadow work. Oh, shadow work is in the lead. We'll see how it goes. And there's another one. Thanks everyone for your input. We'll see what we come up with next week. Until then, we'll see you guys all next time. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night.